Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the US M40 gas mask. We have one of those masks in front of the camera, then the manual and the waterproof bag. I'm gonna talk a bit about different items that mask gonna fit. I never joined the US military back then in Switzerland. That was not possible, so bear with me. I did not learn that in the US military. And back then in Switzerland, as I was stuck there in the military, that was rather like a World War II gas mask that we had. I think it was the model 74, and some of the people that I saw even had the older one from the World War II. And then that got switched to the 1990 model, also made in Switzerland. I did make a video about that model. Unfortunately, complete failure of the mask too, because they did not use a correct rubber, so it would damage by not too careful use. And in the military, of course, there you can't be too careful all the time with the items. So the M40 mask is quite an improvement compared to the items that I had over in Switzerland. And there is already a newer mask in USA in use currently with the military. The M40 should be still around pretty much, but the new one uses a different system on the filters. We have here a 40mm filter. The filter is the green part here, and that is important for me, that all the mask can use the same filter, and therefore I'm gonna stay with the 40mm. As we look at the mask, this one is already with the hood on it. That is just a chemical hood that goes over the mask, so the whole head would be protected. It's quite a big thing, that hood here. We see it has pull straps and all that on it. There is a certain way you put that over you in case needed. We see here would be around the neck, and as we look in front of the mask, we see the outer lenses left and right. We have the part in here for the drinking, for the water bottle, the drink tube. Then we have the two side inlays that filter, basically speak the speech, and the in and the out. And we have here on the side the filter part. We see the filter is open. The filter we can unscrew. Of course, that is that 40mm thread. That's how the filter looks like as it is open. That is how the filter looks like it is in storage. It's just a spare canister, spare filter. It also shows you how to open. That is relatively easy. In Switzerland we had a system where the filter could not be opened that fast. It was sealed all around in a ribbed kind of style, so you need to cut that off, and if you really need that fast, that was a pain to open. The setup of the mask is that the filter is on the left side, so you have it out of the way for shooting. As you put up the rifle to the right shoulder, you can set up this part over here by simply unscrew that part here and take it over to the other side. Those parts, the small parts, are relatively easy to take off. To change the parts, you just need to be careful that you're not going to damage anything. Sometimes they have rubber some parts have rubber O-rings on it, so you need to be careful. Also, in case you get a mask, you need to make sure that the thing is tight, that works. You put the mask on, and then the inlay part, which in this one would go through the filter here, you're gonna simply cover that up with your hand really tight, and then you feel it if it's gonna be tight, or in case somewhere air would slip through, that you feel then. It's pretty simple. It's kind of vacuum feeling that you get. You feel that firsthand. People with beards, that is a problem. With beard, the side of the mask, actually we're gonna grab another one. The side of the mask, as we see here, the sides of the mask, it's not gonna seal on the skin in case you have a beard. So in Switzerland the people put on a bit a cream, like a cream for the hands, a body cream, to create a bit a greasy surface on it, so it would seal like that too. No idea how successful that was. It was a bit minimum mixed. I did always shave, and the gas that they did try out in Switzerland was either tear gas, and the second one, the earlier one that we used, was a banana gas kind of system, so it smells like banana like crazy. But that at least did not burn you with tear gas. I saw some people get pretty good problems with the A's because that did not work with the beard. So what I always gonna add to the gas mask system is some one-way use shavers, like 2 or 3 packaged up, so in case you have to put on the mask minimum, even if you have a little bit of beard, and that with men, that is from time to time that we have a bit 2 or 3 day beard, and the mask would not stick. So I would not try with the grease too much, and the part that you can put on the hands and all that, I would simply shave quick the stuff off. If you're not gonna have a beard like a sheep, that should not take too long of a time. So that way it's for sure better than just use a bit of cream. As we look at the mask, I'm gonna put that one a bit on the side. The mask has basically 2 parts. We have the mask itself and the outer mask. Why exactly they did that in 2 layers, I don't know. In Switzerland we only had 1 layer, and that is a bit different to see, but we see clearly the black one is the outer shell or outer skin, and then we have the mask itself. Also what we see here, the glass part, the lenses are fixed on it, but there are outer lenses too. So we see the difference is that this one is not ribbed in front, the outer lenses are ribbed in front, so basically they simply go over it. It has rubber seal kind of parts that simply go over it. As you work with gas mask, you need to be careful that you're not gonna damage the mask with fingernails or pointy objects. Of course it's a rubber mask, so there should not be a hole in it. So as you work on it, as you take it apart, as you unscrew the parts and take off the glass, be careful that you're not gonna rip it or puncture it. So those would go over there. We have of course the part that would go over here. There are different variations. This one I found had a bit of longer part down here. Usually that is shorter, That's the only one that I have in a longer part. Then we see as the cover did come off, this part here is usually in front here. We see how that looks below. We have the sealing part, and this is actually the drink tube. There are water bottles for the US military that has that adapter here, so you can actually drink through that thing. And inside the mask we have the same piece here that you could drink out of it. We had that in the Swiss military too, and as best as I remember, that did not work too well back then. We did not try it out. What I would suggest is use only like water and not like a Sprite or a Coke, something with sugar in it, because that's gonna get stuck and get bad into the tube. There are spare parts, of course, tube parts as well. It's always a difference if you are with the military, so you get those parts, or if you are like me, not with the military, so you have to look what you do best. And in USA, unfortunately, the manufacturer of those masks, the civilian version, the price is relatively high. The military version is, or can be found for a really inexpensive price compared to what it would cost otherwise. So those are all ex-military masks that got cleaned with water and bleach. That is absolute needed, because who knows who had that mask before, and if you ever had on such a mask, you know that you're gonna sweat quite likely in the minute as you put it on quite hard, and that needs to be cleaned out. So we see on top the US, and then this one is large. That would fit for me. There are different sizes of the mask. We have a small and a medium, like we have it here, and the large. So the small one is really for small faces. Most people quite likely need the medium and the large, so that's the way to go with it. It's hard to say if you never put one on which one would be for you, would fit for you. So that is how that is. Then as we look on the back side of the mask, and I'm gonna quick take off that part here, it simply comes off like that. Then we see on the back side of the mask, this one actually has the plastic insert that keeps the form, the shape of the mask. That is important for storage. Then we see the strap. This one is really tight. You can, for cleaning, take that off, of course. You just need to look how it comes back on. That is a part that is gonna get hurt sooner or later, so it's always good to have a bit of replacement. It's simply a strap and sewed together, and those are pretty easy available in USA. So that's about that. You can adjust the straps easy with this part here, and yeah, that's how the mask looks as it is open. This one actually has a bit a bigger lower part too, so that is number 2 that I have in this configuration. What is important, or show some more information, is the manual. You see that online for downloading also. Then we have the watertight bag where you can put in the mask if you need to. The whole item gonna get storage in a nice bag. There are different variations of the bag. It's usually this style with the velcro. So we have a strap. This one is removed put into the thing here. We have side pockets for items. We have the pocket below, which is usually for the amplifier, and I did not drag that out for this video. That amplifier I did already make a video before. That is one of the really good points of that mask system, that you can put on an amplifier, because once you have the mask on, you can scream inside, and the noise that comes outside is really low. You have a hard time understanding each other, especially if that would be in a tactical situation. So amplifier is really absolute a great idea. Also, what I did not grab out is the glasses insert. There is a insert that goes from the inside into the mask and will be permanently on there for people that have glasses like myself. There is a variation in metal, the older one, and the newer in plastic, that you can get your glasses to your needs, and then you put them in the mask, so you can actually see pretty much as you would see with your regular glasses. Of course, it has a bit a window view through the mask. It's difficult to explain if you never had that yourself. It's a bit of course a bit a different vision, but it helps that you have the glasses in there. The first mask that I did tell about in Switzerland did not have that, and that was like day and night to the 1990 model that actually had those glasses, especially if you wanna shoot with it, or drive a car, or whatever you're gonna do with it. That is for sure needed. So yeah, that pretty much is it. There are for sure more points to talk about. They made or make the parts with a sunglass-like appearance, also even darker for protection with laser and all that. There is for sure more pieces, like they have filters that are kind of on a hose, in case you are in a tank or in an airplane. You can directly screw that on, and then it goes further away with the filter. There is a lot of specialized equipment for those masks. That just gives you a bit of an overview. So what is most important is that the thing is tight. To test that you're gonna clean it first with water and the bleach. That is in the manual. Also how to take it apart, that you're not gonna puncture it or rip it, that you have spare filters. The filter's not gonna last forever, especially the open ones. It needs to be filters that are still sealed, and minimum here in USA we get that still pretty plentiful, and should be US military filters and not whatever else, because 40mm, that thread size that we have on the side of the mask, that is in use with other military as well. But who knows what kind of filter that they gonna use. There are many cheap masks out there too, like from Russia or Israel, cheap stuff that is cheaper priced than M40. I would not buy that. I would not even deal with it, because the quality is unknown, and the spare parts are not there, and if it's not the military using in your country where you are, I would not deal with it. So worst case, in USA we have spare filters, we have spare masks, we know the system, we know to operate it, and not to deal with a complete different product. If you want to have a mask or not, that is up to you. I had since 1990 gas mask always, and also the rest of the family that came as I was in the Swiss military. Prior that was not common in Switzerland that much, to especially not to get a working one, something that is minimum 95% really working and on top of the line. And we could only dream about the M40 from the US military. So that much about the M40 mask.